Ahsoka, I'm asking you to come back to the Jedi Order.
I'm sorry, Master, but I'm not coming back. Dave Filoni needs me to survive Order 66 so I can be in Star Wars Rebels and then my own series.
Well, that makes sense.
Hey everybody, how's everything going? Welcome to Custom Toys EC, a series of videos where I'm gonna talk about all the freaky stuff that all we freakies love. Today we're taking a look at Hasbro Black Series The Mandalorian version of Ahsoka Tano. I acquired this figure before starting the channel, so I have already done some fixings to this figure, and I am explaining them one by one for you. First, the face was really well accomplished from the beginning, but the skin tone color didn't convince me when I saw her out of the box. It was too bright. So I just did a really subtle orange wash to saturate the skin color a bit more. Luckily, there are no marks of the brushing, so it's a really good job. The eyes are centered and well made. And I gotta say, I love Ahsoka's skin color. I also just added a bit of shadowing to the eyelids, so there could be more depth. Now, the details that I did are the metallic pieces of her tiara, also the emblem of the belt, and the beads here and there. Another thing would be changing the grayish color of the gauntlets and replace it with a silver color. It wasn't metallic at first. And here, I painted the really small green lights on each side. This figure is absolutely awesome. Really well detailed. And she looks exactly like Rosario Dawson. The shoes are completed with the robbery type soles that you can actually see on the live action portrayal of this character. Painting on black plastics is always a bit frustrating and rewarding at the end. Too many layers. I did around 4 to make the color plain. There was no need to paint the same color inside. They look really cool. If you have doubts about this suit, you can see all the details on videos around the internet of the one that they displayed during the last San Diego Comic-Con. As I said before, this metallic color was at the beginning no metallic at all. I also did a dark wash line work between all the sculpted pieces, so we can see all the detail of the armor. These two metal buttons right here. And here on the sides, there were 2 really small pieces, like pegs, so you can attach her lightsabers. But they were too fragile and flexible, so it was really hard to get them on. The lightsaber hilts were also really flexible, as you can see here. They are painted in a better way. The silver is shinier, and the really small details are painted here now. Here's the shorter one as well. The two hilts are different. These two are rigid because I did mold and duplicated the original ones. The difference is almost non-existent. I used epoxy sculpt clay for these. And why did I do such a thing? Well, mainly because the flexible lightsaber hilts can also break the paint. I don't want to go any further. I mean, bending this piece will ruin it. But the ones I made are not made to bend. The rigid ones go for her hands. It was a scary thing to put the originals on. Even the holes are really similar, but they're not meant to go on the figure, because even the blade is glued. But the rubbery ones can come here with the help of these harder plastic pegs that I made myself. And now Ahsoka is able to have her lightsaber turned off and the one that is lit on independently. And as you can see, they're easier to put them on and take them out. So I can pose our beloved Ahsoka. We're using this soft goods tunic that I made. And as you have noticed by now, it's made of a brighter gray color in contrast to the darker one that she uses on the Mandalorian series. And it's exactly the same tone as Moon Knight's cape. Well, almost. It's hard to get the same tone fabrics. If you want to see the video for Moon Knight, I'll leave the link on the description for this video. Right now, we will take a look at how I made the tunic. The patterns are mine. I didn't download them or anything like that. And it's not as big as the one that this figure comes with in the Mandalorian and Ahsoka 2-pack. Or actually 3-pack with Grogu. This one covers just what's necessary. And there's a space so the hands can go out from the sides, and if you take a look on the back, it covers the back, but you're able to see her feet. Sadly, I couldn't understand the pattern of the tunic from that 3-pack. I tried many times and there was no result, so I gave up and I made mine. So I'm really sorry if you were expecting me to show the pattern for that tunic. But don't get me wrong, it's really good, but the thing that I didn't like is that on the sides the tunic looked like white. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a Force comment. What I thought about is that the tunic should fall gracefully to the sides, and also the hood should be really big. So let's take a look how I did it. You even can remove the hood and looks really cool. There's no other choice rather than taking the tunic off with her head. I am turning this one inside out for a while. The edge on the back of the hood is sewed to the back of the tunic and folded up against itself and sewed. We should be really careful on measuring the head so the hood can fall in a beautiful way. These parts always fall on the shoulders, and it's the same thing with all the Jedi tunics from this collection. Hasbro tries to do the same, but the tunics always stay like this because they're not well measured and they don't know exactly where to sew it. So here's exactly where the tunic falls and sits. Good. Now, let's take out the fabric and draw the hood pattern. This is way bigger than the other, and as you can see, it covers Ahsoka from the head to her shoulders. That's what let us do the trick, and we draw the pattern. If you want any commission work, please contact us on Instagram as customtoys_EC. Now I cut following the line. We have to measure the circumference in half and put on a mark so we can sew this piece together. I have drawn this pattern, so if the figure is about 5.5 inches, that's around 15 centimeters. So the pattern should be around 25 centimeters long. It should be like 10 inches. And it should be long enough so it can curve on the shoulders like this. This is how we achieve this one. So we'll do the same thing as before. I want to speak about Ahsoka series for a while. Well, that's if my cat lets me. Well, have you seen Ahsoka series yet? I would say, as I did on Anakin Skywalker's video, I am so excited for this series, and I have to say, crying in every episode. I think it's something a real fan of Star Wars, prequels, Clone Wars series, Rebel series, and why not the original trilogy should see. It's amazing and I really recommend it. We folded the pieces onto the back and then sewed following this line, and voila. I have to say that the body of the tunic was sewed by hand because it was impossible for me to get the sewing machine there. I want to show you an old figure that hasn't been on the channel before. Here is Ahsoka Tano from the Rebels wave of the red boxes for Black series. The ones that got repacked recently. But this one is not the repack, it's the original and has passed through a lot of changes. Like the blue color that I added on her Leku, and the face is way better. It's almost the same paint that I used on Ahsoka's eyes. And these two together are really cool, although the Leku are bigger on this one. But well, this is the animated representation. I added a dark wash drawing all the pieces and the metallic colors for adding more realism to the details. And this figure was really loose, and I fixed the articulations, and it also comes with her lightsabers. The blades are reinforced with UV resin. You only apply it and then let it dry with the UV light. They were too thin. And I was thinking on doing the same process of the lightsaber hilts as the others, doing them more rigid. These ones are made of PVC and they are really flexible. That's something I don't like about this figure, so we will reproduce them in the future. I'll show you the process using part A and B of the silicone putty so we can make the mold first. And as you can see, the piece enters perfectly. And then, for the positive piece, I used the epoxy putty part A and B too. You have to put only what you need to fill the mold. Then you press it, and the excess will escape through the sides. Then, the next day, when it's cured and you open the mold, you'll be able to take out the positive. Obviously, it is going to come out with some bumps and scratches, so you just only fix it, sand it, and correct any mistake. That is how I created the lightsaber hilts, the replacements. So finally, please leave a comment about your thoughts on this custom. I really enjoyed it, but would you do the same with your Ahsoka figures? What is great about this process is the possibility of having more options for displaying your figures, and obviously make them more realistic. Please tell me if you liked Ahsoka series so far, and if you are as excited as me seeing our loved characters again, this time on live action. That for me is, to be honest, a dream come true. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so YouTube will remind you when we upload more videos. Please recommend this content to all your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, and may the Force be with you.